Hi everyone, this is JamshedQureshi, and in this video we will learn about output decorators in Angular. Output decorators we generally use in combination with event emitters. So these two are basically used to share data whenever we are doing data sharing between child to parent. In our previous video we had seen how to do data sharing from parent to child using input decorator. So let's dive in and see how we can do data sharing from child to parent using output decorators. Let's create a component for this topic. We will go to our command line and write the CLI command ng-gc lessons. This is our topic number 18. Output decorators in Angular skip tests. And we will also need to create parent and child components for this example. So we will just copy the folder name from here. Here it is. We will write the folder name and we would differentiate the names of these parent child components, otherwise it would match with that of our input decorator video. So we will write output parent and then we will write output child. So we are done creating our components. Let's run our application and go to our component file. So here we will write our parent child selector, say app output parent, and in our parent we will embed our child component, say app output child. So we will again take an e-commerce example. Say we have a list of products in our child component, and whenever the user clicks on one of the products, that should be reflected in our parent component. So let's create the product list in our child component. Say we have a list of products that is of string that would be empty initially, and we also need to create a selected child product to store the selected product name that would be string and empty, and whenever the user clicks on one of the products, that should be assigned to selected child product variable. So let's write selected, or let's write child product selected, and we will have the product name and we will assign that to selected child product. Okay, and this would be a string. Now let's console this. And to view our application, we will have to add the selector of our main component to our app component file. Let's do that. So we will remove this selector from our previous video and we will save this one. Let's save and see the output in the browser. We will refresh it. So we are able to see the parent and child components. Let's output the list of products in our child component now. We will go to our code, and in the child component we will create a div that will use our structural directive ng4 and loop over our product. That will output the product, and whenever a user clicks on any of the product, it will call child product selected function and pass the product name. Now let's save and go to our browser. Okay, we are not able to see the child component. Let's see what is the problem. Okay, we don't have any products mentioned over here, right? So let's add few products, say laptop, desktop, monitor, charger. Let's save, and here we can see it. Let's inspect our browser, go to console, and when I click on some product, we are able to get it in the console of our child component. Now how do we send it to our parent component? For that we use output decorators in combination with event emitters. What event emitter class does is it creates a custom event for us. If you remember in our previous video for event binding, we were binding the events like input, change, click using event binding in Angular, and here we will create a custom event for this particular component. Let's see how we can do that. So first we will write the output decorator. What output decorator does is it tells Angular that data would be flowing from the child component to the parent component. So it is going to output the data, and we can write a custom event name here, say product selected, and it will be of type event emitter of type string, and we will create it new event emitter. And how do we trigger this event? We will trigger it whenever a user clicks on a particular product. Say for example, if a user clicks on a product, then we will trigger this event. We will write the event name product selected and emit some data. What would be that data? This would be the selected product, not this one, selected child product. And in the parent component, how do we know when that event has been triggered? Let's go to the parent component and see. And in the parent component, we will bind the custom event in the selector of our child component, so that we have product selected. Yes, it's product selected. And whenever this event is triggered, we will call a function in our parent component. Say we write get child product, and we get the data from event variable. So let's create this function in our parent component. So we will create this function over here. We will get the data that would be of type string, and we will also create a variable parent. Let's see what is the name in the child component. Selected child product. So we will write selected parent product. This would be of type string as well, and that would be empty. And whenever the user gets the data from the child component, we will assign it to this variable, and we will output that in our HTML. Let's do that. So here we have it, selected child product. We will use interpolation and write the variable name. Now let's save and see the output. So we have our text here, selected child product, that is in our parent component. Now let's select any product and see if it gets reflected in our parent component. Say I click on charger, and we are able to see the charger in our parent component. If I click on laptop, then it is reflecting laptop. So how this data is flowing from child to parent? Let's do a quick review. So in our child component, we have used output decorator to create a custom event called product selected, and that product selected is emitting an event. We are doing that by using event emitters in Angular, and we are showing the list of products in our child component. And whenever a user clicks on any of the product, we are calling a function called child product selected and passing that product name to it. And in that function, we are emitting the event using our selected products value. And in the parent component, we are doing event binding for our custom event. And whenever this custom event triggers any data, we are calling this function in our parent component along with the data provided. So when we go to this function, we are getting the data and we are assigning it to a variable, and that parent variable, we are showing it in our parent component's HTML file using interpolation. So that is how you share data from child to parent using output decorators and event emitters. So that's it for this video. If you got any knowledge from this video, then please like and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Bye.